When I started on the county commission about 28 years ago, I was elected and I served with some absolute greats like John Jackson and Grady Porter and Linda Sims. And we looked at all the money the county was spending on courts and on the sheriff, on arresting people and adjudicating them and locking them up. And we tried to get just a little bit of money for something called the Youth Violence Prevention Coalition. We tried to move upstream just a little bit. We had the idea that if we could spend a little money on the front end, maybe we could save some money on the back end. It was such a foreign concept in about 1990, I think it was. Even in 1990, I mean, we sort of think about that as modern times, don't we? But when we talked about, in county government, spending not as much on expanding the jail, because they were talking about expanding the jail, if you know what I mean. I want you to understand, and I think you know, I think I'm preaching to the converted, but especially for the young people, I want you to understand what you're up against when you talk about change. It's why it's so great that we do have allies in this room, smart, committed people, and up to the White House in Barack and Michelle Obama. Because what you're talking about, it's not just that you're battling racism. If only we're that, it's not just that simple. There's some racism out there, I don't have to tell you. But it's not all race, it's institutional stuff. It's that the system is designed to arrest, prosecute, adjudicate, and incarcerate. That's what the system is set up to do. And when the system runs out of money to do that, it doesn't say, gosh, are we doing something wrong? Should we do something different? What the system says is we need more money to do more of what we've been doing. So when you're a county commissioner or a council person or a mayor or a state rep or a congressperson, and thank God for Debbie Dingell, when you're a person who said, whatever you're elected to, or Joe or Jane citizen who says, I'm going to make a difference, I'm going to stand for something. When you say the system is broken, you're swimming upstream. See, you are swimming upstream. This is against the inertia of the system. The incredible inertia of the status quo is like a raging river. This is what I want you to understand, because I know some of you young people are just getting started. I don't want to depress you, but I want you to know what you're going into. I've been fighting it all these years. And as a mayor, the other thing is, I got to keep a system running. Like, I can't just close the jail. I can't just eliminate the police department. I got to answer 911 calls. I got to fill potholes. And I don't have enough money to do the things I'm going to do. That's why it's so stunning. Where's Angela? That I'm going to announce that in my next budget, and she's not going to be happy because it's not enough, but I'm going to put $100,000 new dollars just for MBK in my budget. Just so you know, I need you to keep that quiet because I haven't told one council person. I haven't told, and the only person I have told, I mentioned it to, I had just a couple people in my office. One of them was my budget director, and she looked rather sick when I said it to her. And it's not that she's not committed to these efforts, but she has to find the money. But just to squeeze out in a tough city budget when the roads look like they do. Because, you know, when the rest of the system isn't working, when Congress isn't working, and we know Congress hasn't worked for years, right? I mean, I'm not saying there aren't individual Congress people that are working, but it as a system is not working for the people. It's not working for the people. And again, I want to get out of your way. You got a lot of work to do. I'm excited about just listening to you. I just wanted you to understand for a minute, just to get a little picture of what a mayor faces, because you're going to talk to mayors all over the state and country. And they're trying to keep this ship afloat. They're trying to fill potholes, to fix neighborhoods, to do all these things. And they've got all the costs of the current system, and then they're trying to do something new. Like when I say I'm going to spend $100,000 new dollars for MBK, out of a $200 million budget in the city of Lansing, that probably doesn't sound like much. It's only like the cost of one police officer. about 100,000 with salary, benefits, and pension. If to put it in perspective, 100,000 is about the cost of one police officer in the city of Lansing. 100,000 a year. So to give MBK, somebody could say, that could be a police officer, and somebody will. I promise you somebody will. And you're giving it to Angela. But if we're going to move upstream, you got to start to make some decisions. You got to start to make some tough choices and to battle this inertia of the status quo. And by the way, crime is down in Lansing. Crime is down. It's a loving, caring community. It's kind of interesting. You know, I won't get into the whole marijuana thing. You know, we're sort of trying to normalize medical marijuana. We've got 50 dispensaries. Some people are very concerned about that. But crime is down. You know, we have more dispensaries. We have more people working in the medical marijuana industry. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody, bring up an issue like this, controversial issue. But it's just kind of interesting. Come and study Lansing. I mean, I wish somebody from MSU would do a study. Because I get some criticism that we have too many dispensaries. We're in the process of regulating them, but we've normalized sort of the thing. People have choices to make, educated choices. We're done criminalizing people. East Lansing just voted to completely decriminalize marijuana, regular marijuana, and so that it's just a ticket. So I think some of this stuff, if we can decriminalize and understand people have choices, and by the way, how about we make beds available for heroin addicts? Yeah. How about we make it so when you're an addict and you want treatment, you can actually get it? I mean, you know how many people have died of, we have in Lansing 28 deaths of heroin overdose last year. 28, you know how many from marijuana overdose? Zero. So I have to remind people about that. People have choices to make. Let's put the energy where it needs to be. Anyway, appreciate everything that you're doing. The Youth Violence Prevention Coalition that I started when I was a county commissioner still exists. It's still funded in Ingham County. So I just want to let you know, you can swim upstream. You must swim upstream. It's what the system, if we're going to change the system, it's absolutely essential, like what Margaret Mead said. You know, a small number of committed people are absolutely necessary to change the world. Somebody knows the exact quote. But thank God we have powerful allies, not just in the White House, but in this room. Powerful allies who will make change happen. When I say, and you know, there's all this controversy about the sports people kneeling or not, or saying the national anthem. But when we say the Pledge of Allegiance or the national anthem, when we say liberty and justice for all, you know I didn't use the talking points, Bishop, but I appreciate them. But this is to me what it's about. As I was sitting here listening to Angela, listening to Angela and Brittany and others, it comes back to that anthem that I said all those years in Pontiac, growing up, and now in Lansing that my kids said, the flag of the United States. I'm pledging allegiance to a flag. I'm not pledging allegiance to a piece of cloth exactly. I'm pledging allegiance to an ideal of liberty and justice for who? For all. For all. That's what we aspire to. And it's not enough to say the words. It's not enough to mouth the words. We have to work to make it happen. Our founding fathers and mothers, our ancestors fought and sometimes died for this America. But this America is far from perfect. We love it, but we're going to make it better. We're going to strive and work toward that ideal, liberty and justice for all. That's what MBK is about in my mind. God bless you. Godspeed.